Hey everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Happy Friday. Instead of a fun fold today, we're going to do a technique, and I'm going to show you how to do the emboss resist technique. It's really fun. Probably many of you have used this or made cards this way, but you're using embossing powder. You're going to stamp in Versamark ink and then emboss and then add some ink blending. So isn't this pretty? This card I made using the Natural Botanicals, and I just use these. This is one of those stamps that's a reversible stamp. So what you can do on the stamp, if you want, is you can, I'll just show you real quick. You can put this on your, let me get one. I should have one. You can put this with your image, the details down flat, and ink it up and stamp like the fill in. So you could stamp it, say in a dark green, ink it up, stamp it. I would say clean it so you don't get ink on your fingers, and then maybe do a lighter green or stamp off and then stamp over it and it will fill in. So these are reversible stamps. I only use the one side. I just wanted to tell you that that's something you could do. So what I did was I stamped this, and this around. I started with the bigger one in Versamark ink on a piece of white, and then I blended ink. So I'll show you how to do that. And then this one, I used the Impressions of Bloom and just stamped. I didn't do the fillers. I just did these kind of more detailed stamps. So this one, I have a shaded spruce card base and label, and then I used a garden green, granny apple green, and shaded spruce to just add color. And we're going to go through this. We're going to use different colors. I'm going to use this stamp set again, but with different colors. So you get a different look. So this one, I use Strawberry Slush, and that's the card base and the label, and Timid Tiger, and Fresh Freesia. So you've got your pink and your purple and your orange. So those were done that way. We're going to use this stamp set, and let's put these aside. And I did get the sentiment from here. This sentiment, this is one of my new go-to sentiment, is this thank you. Isn't that nice? I think this is a really nice sentiment set. And we use that for my card class for August. We made some pretty cards with that. So we're going to use this. I have all the stamps mounted, so I'm going to put it aside. And we will be using my favorite, Blackberry Bliss, Pretty in Pink, and Daffodil Delight on this card. And we're going to have a Blackberry Bliss card base and sentiment label. I have embossing powder everywhere. That's okay. I keep this handy just to, no matter how I work, I always get embossing powder on me. So we have the inside layer and then the outside layer. And I see this is a little, I'm going to get a new one of these because it's a little creased here. So I'll get that later. So the first thing we want to do is stamp our layer. And we're going to use Versamark ink. And I did this card, I think I did this card in 2 kind of sessions because it's hard to see Versamark ink on white paper. This one, I think I did 3. I did the big, and then I filled in a little, so I did it. I added the embossing powder, I heated it up, and then I went back and added more images. And you'll see what I'm talking about. It's very hard to see. So I have my Versamark ink. And if you do Versamark ink on a color, it gives you a color. You could see it. But when you're doing it on white, it's very hard. So I'm going to start with my biggest flower. And I'm just going to press this in and get it nice and inked up. And I'm going to do this, and you're not going to see it. We're going to do right here. I don't know if you can see it. I can hardly see it. So we're going to just do kind of in different areas, and that's why I'm doing it a couple of times. That one has a little pink on it, I think, from whatever I did last time. I think maybe when I stamped the inside. So hopefully that won't matter. And then I'm going to do the next biggest, and I'm going to try to see where I stamped And if they overlap a little bit, I don't think it's the end of the world. So I'm just trying to see where I have that. And I'm going to do one down here. And when I do the embossing, the heating, I may speed some of this up because it's going to be a little bit repetitive. So we're going to get our embossing powder. I'm using the Wow White embossing powder. And this is the embossing, I think it's called the accessories kit or something. So you could just pour it in. You could use a Tupperware. A lot of people use Tupperwares. And now you'll see it with the embossing powder. And then we'll just do this. I don't know where they all are. Okay, so hopefully you could see that. Let me pour a little here. I don't know if I got that inked up. Okay, and if you have some little excess, now I'm going to heat emboss this and then we'll come back. I think maybe a little more on here. I don't want to touch it. That's why I have embossing powder everywhere. So now we want to put this aside, and we'll get our heat tool. I'm just going to put this on. I don't want to spill it. So I have my heat tool, and this is where it's a little noisy. And I'm just going to add heat to this, and it will make it shiny. And when it's shiny, it's done. So I will speed this up and mute it so you don't have to hear it. Okay, so you want to make sure it's all nice and shiny. You don't want any powder there. I don't know if you can see this or not. Now I can see where I can fill in. So I'm going to get the next size flower, and I'm going to ink up and try to get some of these flowers added. I feel like this is all wrinkled. I'm going to do a little wipe here because I feel like we've got, and I guess I got this is all warped from heating it up. Okay, so I have this flower up here, which is very hard to see. And we'll do one here. We'll do one down here. And I'm trying to see if I can get one in the middle there. Well, let's do one here. And then we'll fill in with the leaves. So it's always good to do the bigger pieces and then fill in. I'm thinking I could fit one right here. Hopefully it's okay. All right, so let's do these and then I'll come back and do the leaves. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to actually scoop it up this way. Okay, and scoop it up this way. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me get a little bit more on this one. Okay, and so I'm going to heat it up. I'll speed it up, or maybe I'll even cut this out. I don't know. We'll see when I edit it. All right, so now one more time we're going to do this little leaf, and we're going to fill in the areas that are blank. And I like to go off the paper a little bit. So we're going to get this, and we'll go over here. We'll kind of fill in the edges. So you are kind of working blind a little bit, and I think it's a little bit easier for me to see than for you. Let's get this. I'm going to get one right in here. And a little tip here. Okay. And I am going to wipe this down again because I feel like I'm just getting powder everywhere. Okay, and let's do this one last time. And you could just keep pouring it from the jar, and then you could pour it out of this spout right back into the jar. So you probably won't get as much everywhere like I am. Whoa. It's a little messy. This goes a long way. This will fill up the whole jar again, so don't feel like you're wasting it. So that looks pretty good. I see a little spot here. So the brush just helps you get it so it's not in the wrong places. So let's get this one done, and then we could be done with that. I'm going to do this again. Okay, so let's heat this up one last time, and then we could do the fun part, the magic part. All right, so we did all of that. Now let's do our ink blending. So this is where the fun comes in. So you're going to just use your different colors. I think I will start with the Blackberry Bliss. And we're just going to get, I have different, I kind of, so I have like a pink, I thought I had a yellow. I guess I can use this. This seems a little orangey. Do I have another one? This is purple, but I think it's good for Blackberry Bliss. And I thought I had a yellow. Let's see. I have this little one. So we have two different sizes, and for this you can use either side. So I'm going to use the purple. You can wash these, but I did hear that it's better to let them, you know, pick up the ink, and it holds it in, so the next time you go to do it, it's got some ink on it. I'm just going to go in circles in different areas. Okay, and then let's do the pink. So this is Blackberry Bliss. This is Pretty in Pink. I think I said, I don't know, did I say Bubble Bath before? And play with it, see what colors you like. Okay, and then we'll do the yellow, and you could always come back and fill in if you wanted to, but I think this is going good. And this is Daffodil Delight. It's different. Just a fun technique. And you could do this if you had like a big sentiment stamp. You could, you know, stamp that and heat emboss it. But there you go. Now the next thing we're going to do is get a tissue or a napkin or something like that and wipe off the top to get the ink and make the white really pop. So I have a tissue here, and it just, see that? You're just gonna take that off. It'll pick up the ink off the embossed area and just brighten it up a little bit. Isn't that pretty? Okay. This is, I probably shouldn't have done this on my whole pad because now the whole thing is warped, but it'll probably go back. Let's see. So I wanted to just show you that this will pour back into here, and then I rinse this out because I feel like there's like powder in here and here, and I don't want to cross-contaminate with other colors like gold or something like that. So this will just pour in. Pour it in, and I won't do the whole thing here, but look at how it's almost full already. And then I'll do this later, but what I'll do is I'll take this and just scoop it down and continue pouring it in. I just wanted to show you that you really don't use a lot of embossing powder, so it's okay if you lose some along the way. All right, so now we're going to put this. So on this one, I did put a white layer behind it. I think I like that. So I think I might cut this down just a hair and then put a white layer behind it. I didn't do it on this, but I did it on this, and I kind of like, I like the white layers, unless there's a lot of white in the card. So I'm going to just take, this is 4, I'm going to take it and cut it down to 3 7/8. And then 5 1/8. All right. So we'll get rid of those. And then we could put this down on here. Now this does get a little warped, so I would put, you know, a good amount of your adhesive down, because the heat warps it. You can go, I don't know if you saw, I did it from the back at one point. You can go from the back and it helps a little bit with the warping, but I'm just going to really go end to end and put a lot of this on. We're just going to give it just this little tiny border. And then pop it right on here. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so let's do our sentiment, and then I'm going to put this down. So I am going to do the I appreciate you. That is also in the stamp set. And I'm going to do that with the Versamark. I shouldn't have poured that paper that back into the bottle, but that's okay. I was going to cut another piece. Let me get that. Okay, so I have a cleaner piece. The last one, remember, it was bent in the corner. So now you're going to see the Versamark ink when you do it with a colored paper. Here it is. So you'll see what I mean. It's kind of like a almost a watermark, and that's a fun thing to do also, is to stamp the background layer in Versamark, or the same color like Blackberry Bliss ink on Blackberry Bliss paper. It's a neat little technique. Oh, you can't see it that well. I don't know if you could see it. It's better than on the white. So let's go back here and let's get our embossing powder. And I should have, which I didn't, I always forget to do this. If you rub this across before you stamp, it keeps the static away so that the embossing powder really just hits the areas you want. And sometimes it's nice to go over twice. Okay, and then you use your paintbrush to get all these little, otherwise they will melt on. It's more visible on a dark paper. Okay, there's this one little spot there. I don't want to take off the eye. Okay, so let's put this on top and put this on the side. Now this will get very hot, so you can use your tweezers. I think I have tweezers. Okay, I found my tweezers, so I'm going to just hold it here and then get my heat tool. Okay, I appreciate you. Isn't that so pretty? And then we can put our card together. So let's put this down. I am just full of this stuff here. Come on. It's surely showing up because it's white on this color. So let's put this down here. I think I might actually go back to using the Tupperware containers. That's what I always used. And then when they came out with this thing, I like it, but I think I make a mess sometimes. And then this we'll put right up here with dimensionals. It's so easy and so pretty. And then I should put some kind of bling on it. And you could put it up here, down here. I kind of like it in the middle. And we're going to go right out. This one is 4, I think 7/8. So on this one, I put the In Color flat pearls. This one, I used the nested essential dies to cut this. But let me see what we can put here. Something white. Let's go with the gold flower accents. I think they would be really pretty. Should we do the little or the big? I think I might do the big. They're very pretty. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and then on the inside, so on the inside of this, I just stamped some of the leaves. I did it, stamped it down with shaded spruce, and then I lifted, stamped it again, lifted, stamped it again. And then on this one, I did the flowers and the thanks. I'm going to do the same kind of thing here. So I will do the thanks in the Blackberry Bliss. So I'll do this right here. Do my thanks. And I think I might do the flower. So I did the big flower. I think I might... Should I do the... Let's do the pretty in pink. And then we'll do the yellow inside. Can't decide. So many choices. So we'll do the thanks. We'll do this. Just like this. Yeah, that's pretty, right? And then we can do the center. Make sure I clean this before. And the Daffodil Delight. So we're using all 3 of the colors. All right. Very pretty. I could use thank you cards, so I've been making them a lot lately, it seems. I think it's because I like that Label Me Grateful stamp set. And it has the thank you and the, I mean, look at this. Thank you, you're the best. You are so appreciated, thank you. A little kindness makes a big difference. So grateful that for that heart of yours. I mean, those are just beautiful sentiments to have. Okay, so I appreciate you, thanks. And here's another one. So these are different colors: Blackberry Bliss, Pretty in Pink, and Daffodil Delight. And then this one is Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, and Fresh Freesia. And then this one is Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, and Shaded Spruce. So the colors are fun to play with and find something that goes well together. I hope you enjoyed this. Let's see what's on for next week. Oh my goodness, we're at the end of August. Time for a new calendar, right? Next week we're going to make a top flap fun fold card. Say that 3 times fast. So have a great week, and I will see you next Friday. Take care.